My problem is my movie. But I said, don't be so sure. The song had a real second life.
He was once the smoothest man on television, with piercing eyes, a rugged charm, and a name that echoed through Hollywood. Kevin Costner wasn't just a star, he was the star. In the 1980s and early 90s, he could do no wrong. From action-packed thrillers to heartfelt dramas, he captivated millions. Women adored him, men admired him, and the cameras never seemed to stop rolling. At the peak of his fame, Costner was pulling in millions per episode, leading blockbuster hits, and winning prestigious awards. He had the looks, the talent, and the fortune to match. It was a golden age for the actor, with films like Dances with Wolves and The Bodyguard cementing his place in pop culture history. But behind the glamorous red carpet smiles and the roaring applause, not everything was as perfect as it seemed. From a rise to fame and fortune to a shocking fall from grace, how did a man who once had everything end up at rock bottom? Now, at 70, Costner's life after losing his fortune is a far cry from the glamorous lifestyle he once led. Simpler beginnings. When Kevin Costner first graced our screens, it was impossible to look away. The charisma, the eyes, the effortless charm. He wasn't just another good-looking actor. He was Hollywood's next big thing. And with talent to back it up, he quickly became a household name, landing role after his breakout performance. But over the years, the bright light started to fade. The man once on top of the world has now found himself far from the spotlight. So what happened to Kevin Costner and where is he today? Keep watching to find out. Born on January 18, 1955, in Linwood, California, Kevin Michael Costner didn't grow up with flashing cameras or red carpets. Raised in Compton by his parents, William and Sharon Costner, he was the youngest of 3 boys, though one of his brothers tragically died at birth. His mom worked in welfare, while his dad was an electrician who later climbed his way up to become a utilities executive. Their life was modest, and Kevin's early years were filled with sports, choir singing, poetry, and even piano lessons. Although he wasn't particularly academic, Costner had a love for storytelling, especially westerns. Watching how the West was won as a child lit a fire in him that never went out. But life wasn't always smooth. His family moved around often, and Kevin found it hard to make lasting friendships. This constant uprooting chipped away at his confidence, but it also made him tough. He eventually graduated from Villa Park High School in 1973, where he played baseball and joined the marching band. Then came college at California State University, Fullerton, where he earned a degree in marketing. But it was in his final year there that something shifted. He caught the acting bug. In 1978, on a flight back from his honeymoon in Puerto Vallarta, Costner had a chance encounter with legendary actor Richard Burton. Nervous but curious, he asked Burton if it was possible to pursue acting without wrecking one's personal life. Burton's response? Yes, if you're careful. That brief conversation was all the inspiration Costner needed. He walked off that plane with a new mission: to become an actor. And he did just that. After agreeing to take a job as a marketing executive, Kevin Costner thought he was on a more traditional career path. But deep down, he knew his heart belonged somewhere else. With the unwavering support of his wife, he started taking acting classes 5 nights a week. That marketing job? It barely lasted a month. He quit and began hustling, working on fishing boats, driving trucks, and even giving Hollywood star tours, just to pay for acting school and keep the lights on at home. It wasn't glamorous, but it was a start. In 1981, Costner landed his first film role in Sizzle Beach, USA, a low-budget movie that flew under the radar. He kept pushing, appearing in small roles, commercials, and films like Night Shift, Stacy's Nights, and Testament. A few of these were forgettable, One almost changed everything: The Big Chill. He was cast as the friend whose death brought the story together, but all his scenes were cut from the final version. Still, that film led to a key connection: director Lawrence Kasdan. Kasdan kept his word and gave Costner a role in Silverado. That became his breakout. And then, Hollywood finally took notice. In 1987, he became a star overnight with The Untouchables, playing federal agent Elliot Ness. That same year, he starred in No Way Out, a thriller that proved he had serious leading man chops. Then came Bull Durham in 1988, followed by Field of Dreams in 1989. Two iconic baseball films that made him a household name and the king of Heartland America. By 1990, Costner wasn't just acting, he was building an empire. He launched his own production company, Tig Productions, and took the biggest risk of his career, directing and starring in Dances with Wolves. It was an epic Western, something no studio believed in. But Costner believed, and it paid off. The film won 7 Academy Awards, including Best Picture and Best Director, both of which went to him. Kevin Costner had officially arrived. Next came a string of major hits: Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, JFK, and The Bodyguard with Whitney Houston. Each one made headlines. Each one made millions. His face was everywhere. He was producing, starring, and calling the shots. Critics praised him, fans adored him, and the box office followed. In 1993, he showed his range in A Perfect World, directed by Clint Eastwood. Then came the Western epic Wyatt Earp and the family drama The War, alongside a young Elijah Wood. Not every film hit big, but by this point, Costner was a megastar, an icon in every sense. But just as fast as he rose, the cracks started to show. Big budgets, creative control, and risky decisions were about to test everything he had built. After his successful acting career, one part of Costner's life that has always caused buzz is his love life. Kevin Costner's love life. Kevin Costner's love life has been making headlines again, and not just because of his star power. After nearly 2 decades of marriage, his split from Christine Baumgartner stunned the world and opened up a new chapter in the Dances with Wolves star's story. Now in his 70s and officially single, fans can't help but wonder, who is Kevin Costner dating in 2025? If his romantic history is anything to go by, there might just be some high-profile names in the mix. When Costner first shot to fame, he wasn't exactly Hollywood's most eligible bachelor. He was already married to his college sweetheart, Cindy Silva. But as his career skyrocketed in the late 80s and early 90s with hit after hit, The Untouchables, Bull Durham, Field of Dreams, and JFK, the pressure of stardom crept into his personal life. By 1994, the marriage had come to an end, and Costner was back on the market. Over the years, the Hollywood heartthrob was linked to several big names. But it wasn't until Christine Baumgartner came along that things settled down. The two tied the knot in 2004 and shared nearly 20 years together before their public and reportedly messy divorce in 2023. Since then, romance rumors have been swirling, and in early 2025, one name stood out above the rest: Jennifer Lopez. According to Closer Online UK, Lopez and Costner were spotted sharing drinks during overlapping trips to Aspen over New Year's. They weren't alone, but witnesses said the pair looked pretty cozy as they chatted among friends. At the moment, things are still at the very beginning stages, a source close to the situation shared. But after they hung out in Aspen, he made sure to send her a huge bouquet of her favorite flowers with a little handwritten note and a magnum of champagne. Reportedly, the two have been talking almost daily since, with plans to meet again for dinner as soon as their busy schedules allow. While nothing is confirmed, fans are watching closely to see if this is Hollywood's next big pairing. But that wasn't the only rumored romance. Months earlier, Kevin Costner and folk singer Jewel caused a stir when photos surfaced of her sitting on his lap during a private getaway in the British Virgin Islands. The internet exploded, with headlines suggesting the two were more than friends. But Costner himself cleared the air during an appearance on The Howard Stern Show. "Jewel and I are friends," he said calmly. "We've never gone out. Ever. She's fantastic. She's special. And I don't want these rumors to ruin our friendship, because that's what we have." He didn't stop there. "She's special," he added. "She's everything you might think, but it just hasn't happened." For a couple of days, the rumor mill had a field day. But in the end, it was just that. A rumor. Still, if one thing is clear, it's this. Kevin Costner may have taken a few hits in his personal life, but he's still very much in demand. In November 2023, whispers circulated that the Hollywood veteran had struck up something with Legally Blonde star Reese Witherspoon, both newly single and spotted at similar circles. But those rumors didn't last long. A rep for Witherspoon promptly shut them down, calling the claims completely fabricated and not true. In truth, the relationship most central to Costner's story remains his nearly 2-decade-long marriage to Christine Baumgartner. The two originally met while Costner was still married to his first wife, Cindy Silva. But it wasn't until years later, in 1999, that things turned romantic. A brief split in 2003, largely over Costner's hesitance to have more kids, was short-lived. By 2004, they had married. Together, they welcomed 3 children, sons Caden and Hayes, and a daughter, Grace. And while they kept a relatively private life, Costner gave a rare glimpse into their dynamic during a 2020 interview with People. "Our partnership has really come into focus about what we do for each other and how we deal with our family," he shared. "Our house is like a river. You've just got to get into the flow of it. And whatever you thought it was going to be, maybe it still can, but it's going to have to work with what the day brings." But in May 2023, the flow turned turbulent. Christine filed for divorce, citing irreconcilable differences. What followed was a months-long tug-of-war over assets, custody, and living arrangements, one that played out in courtrooms and headlines. The divorce was finalized in September. By June, Costner sat down with CBS Mornings and opened up about the emotional toll of the breakup. "That's a crushing moment," he told Gayle King. "It's powerful. It hurt. But I go forward." Despite the heartbreak, Costner emphasized the importance of staying strong for their children. Caden, 17, Hayes, 15, and Grace, 14. "I can't wilt like a daisy," he said. "I have to go forward. I have to continue to be who I am and keep a special eye on who they are." When Christine Baumgartner filed for divorce in May 2023, she cited irreconcilable differences as the reason for her split from Kevin Costner. According to court documents, the couple had already been separated since April 11th. The fallout was swift. "It is with great sadness that circumstances beyond his control have transpired," a representative for Costner shared, with Fox News adding, "We ask that his, Christine's, and their children's privacy be respected as they navigate this difficult time." But privacy proved elusive. What followed was a drawn-out legal back and forth that made headlines for months. In July, it was revealed that Baumgartner was requesting $248,000 per month in child support. Meanwhile, she had yet to vacate their shared beachfront estate, a move Costner claimed was a breach of their prenuptial agreement. By February, a settlement was reached. While the financial terms remained sealed, People reported that a court had excused the couple from mandatory co-parenting classes, likely a result of their agreement to share joint custody of their 3 children. Most major disputes had already been settled by September 2023. More high-profile relationships. However, before Baumgartner, Costner had already lived through a high-profile divorce. He and college sweetheart Cindy Silva were married for 16 years before calling it quits in 1994. The pair shares 3 grown children, Annie, Lily, and Joe. In the years between marriages, Costner also welcomed a son, Liam, with former partner Bridget Rooney. But his rocky relationship doesn't stop at that. In the mid-90s, Us Weekly linked Costner to Friends star Courtney Cox after the pair appeared in 3,000 Miles to Graceland. However, aside from their shared screen time, there's little else tying them together romantically. Costner's name has also surfaced in connection with several supermodels over the years. Naomi Campbell was one such name, though the alleged romance remains unconfirmed and poorly documented. French model Carla Bruni, who would later become France's First Lady, was also rumored to have had a fling with Costner. Meanwhile, model Bobby Brown painted a chaotic picture of a brief encounter with the actor, telling the New York Post in 2013, "I went back to Kevin Costner's place and was so lit I threw a lit cigarette into his bedroom and nearly set his house on fire. But we never had sex." In 1996, Costner briefly dated Australian supermodel Elle Macpherson. Their relationship escalated quickly, with the pair reportedly moving in together after only a few months. "I feel I have met my equal," Costner said at the time. But the romance fizzled before the year's end. Shortly after his divorce from Cindy Silva, Costner began a relationship with Bridget Rooney, the niece of Pittsburgh Steelers owner Dan Rooney. The pair welcomed a son, Liam, in 1996. Though Liam has largely stayed out of the public eye, Costner acknowledged him as part of his extended family. Around the same time, whispers of an affair with Halle Berry began swirling, especially as Costner's marriage woes surfaced. The rumors were never substantiated, and the two have maintained a cordial friendship over the years. Long before the whirlwind of Hollywood relationships, there was Cindy Silva. Costner met Silva in 1975 at California State University, and the pair married 3 years later. She was beautiful. She was sweet. She was smarter than Costner once recalled. "I wanted to show my parents." For 16 years, they built a life together, raising 3 children, Annie, Lily, and Joe. But as Costner's fame grew, so did the strain on their marriage. Reports claimed Silva grew uncomfortable with his status as a Hollywood heartthrob, while other outlets alleged infidelity on Costner's part. Initially supportive of his career, Silva, then a Delta Airlines marketing executive, reportedly struggled as his schedule became increasingly demanding. Still, the separation was far from acrimonious. Friends close to the couple told People in 1994, "They have a common love, their kids. I don't think they'll have one of those cutthroat relationships." Reflecting on the divorce years later, Costner told The Hollywood Reporter, "My faith was shaken. You're going to see your children only half as much. That's a huge loss." Without a prenuptial agreement in place, the divorce ultimately cost him $80 million. Till today, that has been one of Costner's most expensive divorces. Kevin Costner's health issues. Kevin Costner is going through a tough time, and those close to him are starting to worry. His dream project, Horizon, an American saga, has opened to poor reviews, and sources say the pressure is beginning to take a toll on him, both mentally and physically. In a recent People interview, the 70-year-old actor recalled suffering from kidney stones while filming Hidden Figures in 2016, so bad that he had to rely on morphine just to finish the job. Now, with all the stress surrounding Horizon, some fear those painful days might return. Kevin's under extreme pressure, a source told Closer. It's no coincidence he brought up the kidney stones again. He's not as young as he used to be, and the stress is piling up. Horizon is a 4-part Western epic that Kevin poured everything into. He wrote it, directed it, produced it, and even starred in it. The first chapter premiered at the Cannes Film Festival on May 19th, with Chapter 2 expected in August. But so far, critics have not been kind, and Chapter 1 is set for a wide release on June 28th. Sadly, the poor reception has already left Kevin at risk of losing millions. Some even say he might lose his home. This comes after a rough year. Kevin went through a highly publicized divorce from Christine Baumgartner, battled with the Yellowstone team, and funded Horizon largely with his own money. According to sources, when the film didn't land well at Cannes, it felt like a major blow. He puts on a brave face, but the bad reviews hurt, one insider shared. He's not as unshakable as he looks. Now, according to Life and Style, Kevin is quietly hoping Netflix will help him out of the deep financial hole Horizon has left behind. While the movie didn't shine in theaters, it surprisingly found decent success on Netflix, even making it into the platform's top 10. That performance is giving Kevin some much-needed hope. Kevin is great at putting on a calm, confident face, a source said, but behind the scenes, this whole Horizon project has drained him, financially, physically, even mentally. The success on Netflix has been the only bright spot so far, and Kevin is now banking on that momentum. Sources say he's hoping Netflix will buy the rights to the full film series. The platform has the reach and resources to give Horizon new life, and possibly help Kevin recover his investment. It's a big check to write, the insider added, but if the first movie keeps doing well, it might happen. Kevin's idea for Horizon was inspired by the massive success of Yellowstone, where fans loved his portrayal of John Dutton. That role brought him praise and financial rewards, and it made him believe he could take the Western genre further. This time, on his own terms. Now, at 70, Kevin is still holding on to his vision. He wants the Horizon series to be seen by people around the world, and he believes Netflix might just be the platform to make that happen. But for that to work, Horizon needs to keep performing well on streaming. Time will tell if Netflix steps in. But for Kevin, this could be his best shot at turning the tide. Adding to his emotional load, Kevin's friendship-turned-romance with singer Jewel has hit a dead end. He's extremely vulnerable right now, the source said. No matter what he says, Kevin's not great at being alone. Despite being an Oscar and Golden Globe winner, the sting of recent setbacks is hitting hard. His friends say he's not sleeping well, stuck in back-to-back crisis meetings and feeling the weight of one disappointment after another. It's like everything is falling apart. His career, his love life, even his health, a close source told Closer. They're worried he might be headed for another kidney stone episode, or something even worse. Right now, Kevin is trying to hold it all together, but, as one friend put it, he's in a world of pain, and it's only a matter of time before it all becomes too much. Why did Kevin Costner leave Yellowstone? Kevin Costner has been facing a wave of challenges lately, from career setbacks to personal struggles. His departure from Yellowstone, reportedly due to a feud with showrunner Taylor Sheridan, shook fans. Kevin Costner's departure from Yellowstone has sparked a whirlwind of drama and disappointment, both on screen and off. In June 2024, after months of swirling rumors, the Oscar-winning actor confirmed he would not return for the second half of Season 5. His exit left fans stunned, especially when he took to Instagram to say goodbye to his beloved character, John Dutton, and express his frustration with the way the media had twisted the situation. The drama surrounding Costner's exit only deepened when Yellowstone creator Taylor Sheridan publicly expressed his own disappointment, revealing that Costner's departure had disrupted the closure of John Dutton's storyline. Fans were left wondering how the show would proceed without its iconic patriarch. The timing of Costner's exit wasn't coincidental. reports about scheduling conflicts and production issues began swirling in early 2023, with Costner later explaining how the situation played out. He revealed that he had prioritized Yellowstone, but when he arrived on set, after juggling his own project, Horizon, he found himself facing a major hurdle. There was no script. Despite his willingness to accommodate, the media spun his attempts to make the situation work into a narrative of him being unwilling to fully commit. But Costner didn't just feel let down by the production team. He was also frustrated by the lack of support from those involved in the series. There came a moment where I thought, when is somebody going to step up and defend what I did? Costner said, pointing out how no one seemed to recognize his commitment to the show and the difficult position he had been placed in. In a shocking twist, Yellowstone fans witnessed John Dutton's death in the opening minutes of Season 5, Part 2. While the actor had hoped for a more satisfying resolution for his character, the story took a dark turn, leaving many wondering how Yellowstone would continue without its leading man. With the tension between Costner and the production team now public, the drama surrounding his exit is far from over, and fans are left to wonder if this will be the final chapter for the legendary actor. Kevin Costner's infidelity. While still battling with directing his new show, Kevin Costner's personal life has hit another storm after shocking sexual harassment allegations from 2004 resurfaced online, just as his divorce from Christine Baumgartner is making headlines. The claims stem from an incident that occurred during Costner's honeymoon with Baumgartner at the luxurious Old Course Hotel in St. Andrews, Scotland. According to the allegations, a 34-year-old masseuse accused the actor of inappropriate behavior while receiving a massage. The masseuse claims Costner dropped his towel, exposing himself during the session. While no criminal charges were ever filed and Costner was never directly sued, the woman alleged she was fired by the hotel after reporting the incident. The masseuse, who later settled with the hotel in a lawsuit over unfair dismissal, was reportedly left to feel unsupported by the hotel, which was owned by Costner's friend, the late Herb Kohler. The woman described the experience as disgusting, adding, "Even though he was a Hollywood film star, I can't believe he thought he could get away with it. He abused me, and I considered that a criminal act." Costner's reps have denied the allegations, calling them not true then and not true now, and emphasized that he was never involved in any legal proceedings. They went on to clarify that the dispute was between the hotel and the employee, with Costner's name being dragged into the drama after the identity of the actor was revealed in court. But now, as Costner's marriage to Baumgartner unravels, the resurfacing of this allegation adds a new layer of scandal to his already messy personal life. The couple, who wed in 2004, are splitting after Baumgartner filed for divorce, citing irreconcilable differences and requesting joint custody of their 3 children, Caden, Hayes, and Grace. This comes after Baumgartner allegedly asked Costner to leave Yellowstone to prioritize their family life, something he reportedly didn't take well. Kevin Costner, 68, seems to be fully embracing his next big project, a massive Western epic that he's not only directing and producing, but also starring in, pushing his already grueling shooting schedule to a staggering 220 days. As if that weren't enough, rumors are swirling about a possible return for him in Yellowstone's 6th season. But with his personal life unraveling, fans can't help but wonder if this is the right move for the actor. The pressure is mounting, both on screen and off. Will he be able to weather this storm, or is an even bigger crash on the horizon? Recently, Costner and his cast and crew from Horizon and American Saga celebrated a pre-screening at Milano Restaurant and Bar in Las Vegas, where owner and chef Laura Migliorini shared a snapshot of herself alongside Costner, calling it a pleasure to host the dinner for such a wonderful actor. Behind the scenes, however, things are far from smooth. Costner's wife, Christine Baumgartner, reportedly issued him an ultimatum last October: quit Yellowstone or risk losing his family. She had grown frustrated with his long absences, especially since the show requires him to be filming in Montana for months at a time, while she and their family remain in Los Angeles. According to a friend, the situation has knocked a hole in their family life, and Baumgartner is looking for a firm commitment that this will be Costner's final season, or else he might have to hit the dusty trail. But Costner's work schedule isn't slowing down. In fact, he wrapped up filming the first of 4 installments for Horizon back in November, before diving into shooting again in the spring. Production on the second film began in mid-April in southern Utah, only for Baumgartner to file for divorce soon after. Adding fuel to the fire, Costner's past resurfaced, with reports of an alleged affair during the filming of his infamous Waterworld in Hawaii. The affair, involving celebrated hula dancer Michelle Amaral, was said to have occurred when Costner was staying at a $4 $500 a day villa. While Costner vehemently denied the affair, the whispers of infidelity, combined with his ongoing personal and professional drama, continue to swirl. In a fiery interview, Costner defended Amaral, saying, "This woman has done nothing wrong, and yet she's had to share the harsh light of celebrity with me." He expressed deep regret for putting her in the spotlight, adding, "It's wrong for her and her husband." With all the drama unfolding in his personal life, it's clear that Costner's world is anything but simple. Will he find a way to keep moving forward, or will the weight of everything finally take its toll? Have you checked out Kevin Costner's new series? If so, drop your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Click on the next video that pops up. You won't want to miss it.